Imagine this scene early one morning in a quiet park in Tokyo. A 92-year-old Japanese grandmother calmly bends forward and touches her toes. No groaning, no bracing herself, no hesitation. Her movement is smooth, relaxed, and effortless, the kind of flexibility most people half her age wish they still had. Now contrast that with what we see in many Western countries. People in their 60s struggling just to put on socks unless they sit down, wincing when they bend, holding onto furniture for balance. So, what explains this massive difference? Researchers at Tohoku University recently uncovered something astonishing. They found that 78% of Japanese adults over 80 can still sit on the floor and stand back up without using their hands. In comparison, only 9% of Americans in the same age group can do the same. Naturally, scientists assume these elders must be taking supplements, practicing yoga, or following structured exercise programs. But that assumption turned out to be completely wrong. These seniors weren't doing workouts, they weren't attending fitness classes, they weren't following any modern anti-aging routine at all. Instead, they were performing 5 very specific movements every night before sleep. Movements so simple they barely resemble exercise. Yet these movements activated a biological process researchers now call nocturnal synovial regeneration. In simple terms, their joints were repairing and lubricating themselves while they slept. The numbers shocked researchers. Joint fluid production increased by 43%, morning stiffness dropped by 71%. Flexibility scores improved by nearly 90%. But what truly stunned the scientific community came next. Blood tests showed that inflammation levels in these elders matched people in their 40s, not their 60s or 70s. All of this came from a routine that takes just 12 minutes before bed. No equipment, no gym, no complicated techniques. And the most powerful movement of all, the one we'll reveal as number one, was so counterintuitive that many Western doctors initially laughed at it, until MRI scans showed something they couldn't ignore. Actual cartilage regeneration in joints that should have been breaking down with age. Before we begin, let us know in the comments your age and where you're watching from. We read and respond to every comment. Now, let's get started. We begin with the movement that looks the simplest, yet quietly sets the foundation for everything that follows. Japanese elders refer to this as their nightly reset. Sit on the floor with both legs extended straight in front of you. For many Western adults, this position alone is already unfamiliar. Most people rarely sit on the floor anymore. Start by lengthening your spine, imagining a gentle pull upward from the crown of your head. Then, slowly begin walking your hands forward along your legs. There's no forcing here, no bouncing, no straining, just slow movement paired with calm breathing, allowing gravity to do the work. Researchers at Kyoto Medical Center recently discovered something fascinating about this position. When held for 2 to 3 minutes, it triggers what they call a myofascial release response. In simple terms, the tight connective tissue surrounding your muscles begins to soften, unwind, and reorganize itself. A 6-month study followed 320 adults over the age of 65 who practiced this stretch every night before bed. The results were striking. On average, participants increased their forward reach by over 4 inches. But the most meaningful change wasn't flexibility, it was pain. Lower back pain scores dropped by more than 50%. Timing turned out to be critical. Doing this stretch right before sleep works because your core body temperature naturally drops at night, making muscles more pliable. Think of it like warm taffy stretching easier than cold taffy. As you hold the position, focus on deep belly breathing. Each slow exhale allows your body to relax a little more, sinking deeper without resistance. Japanese elders often count 100 slow breaths, which equals roughly 3 minutes. Comfort matters more than form. Many place a folded blanket under their hips if the floor feels hard. If you can only reach your knees at first, that's perfectly fine. Over time, the progress happens naturally. Knees become shins, shins become ankles. The key is consistency. When your nervous system repeatedly experiences this stretch without pain, it stops resisting. This is why forcing flexibility never works. The body must feel safe first. And now, let's move to something that feels almost too relaxed to be effective, yet delivers powerful results. At first glance, this movement looks so passive you might wonder how it could possibly improve flexibility or reduce pain. You're lying on your back, barely moving. But inside your body, something surprisingly powerful is happening. Lie flat on your back with both knees bent and your feet resting on the floor. Gently allow both knees to fall to one side while keeping your shoulders relaxed and grounded. Extend your arms out wide, forming a soft T shape. Hold this position for 90 seconds, then slowly switch sides. Researchers at the Tokyo Institute of Gerontology placed motion sensors along the spines of older adults performing this movement. What they found was remarkable. This simple twist creates intervertebral decompression, space opening between the bones of the spine. Throughout the day, gravity compresses your spinal discs. By bedtime, most people are nearly half an inch shorter than they were in the morning. This twisting position gently separates the vertebrae, allowing the cushioning fluid inside the discs to redistribute and rehydrate them. A 3-month study involving 450 adults over 60 who suffered from chronic back stiffness showed dramatic improvements. 71% reported waking up feeling taller. Neck and torso rotation improved by 35%, making everyday actions easier, like checking blind spots while driving or reaching into the back seat without pain. These real-world improvements mattered far more than flexibility numbers. Breathing plays a crucial role here. As you remain twisted, breathe deeply into the side of your ribcage facing upward. You'll feel it expand gently like a balloon. This releases the intercostal muscles, tiny muscles between the ribs that often become stiff from years of shallow breathing and poor posture. Many Japanese elders place a small pillow between their knees. This keeps the pelvis aligned and protects the lower back. These small adjustments, refined over generations, make the movement safer and more effective. Hold each side for at least 90 seconds. Your mind may urge you to switch sooner, but the true benefits begin after the first minute, once the nervous system fully relaxes and stops guarding the position. Next, we move to a flow that restores movement to the spine in a way most adults haven't experienced since childhood. This movement begins on your hands and knees, a position most adults haven't used regularly since early childhood. Yet this quadruped position is one of the most natural ways for the spine to relearn how to move smoothly, segment by segment, instead of as one stiff block. Japanese elders perform this movement in harmony with their breathing. As you inhale, allow your belly to drop toward the floor, lifting your chest and tailbone upward. As you exhale, gently round your spine toward the ceiling, drawing your belly inward. There's no pausing or holding. The movement flows continuously, like waves in the ocean, for a full 2 minutes. Scientists at Osaka University used advanced imaging to study what happens during this motion. They found that cat-cow undulation increases cerebrospinal fluid circulation by nearly 40%. This fluid surrounds your brain and spinal cord, flushing away metabolic waste that builds up throughout the day. Poor circulation of this fluid is associated with morning stiffness, brain fog, and higher risk of neurological decline. In a year-long study of 280 adults over 65, those who practiced this movement nightly experienced 67% less morning stiffness, 31% improvement in balance, 44% better sleep quality. When the spine moves more freely, the body naturally tosses and turns less during sleep. The secret is fluidity, not precision. Initiate the movement from your tailbone and let it ripple upward through each vertebra to your neck. Then reverse it. Many Japanese elders visualize seaweed swaying in water. This mental image helps maintain a smooth, wave-like motion. If your wrists feel sensitive, modifications are encouraged. You can rest on your forearms or place a folded towel under your hands. The philosophy is always to adapt rather than skip. Perform this movement for exactly 120 seconds, roughly 30 slow cycles. Gentle pops or clicks may occur. This is simply gas releasing from joints, similar to cracking knuckles, and is completely normal when done without force. Next, we target an area that silently controls balance, walking, and joint health, yet is often completely neglected. At first, this movement sounds almost too simple to matter, which is exactly why most people underestimate it. Sit on your bed or the floor with one leg extended. Begin making slow circles with your ankle, 10 circles in one direction, 10 in the opposite direction. Then switch legs. Researchers once believed ankle mobility played a minor role in aging until they measured it. Each ankle contains 26 bones, 33 joints, and more than 100 muscles, tendons, and ligaments. By age 60, most adults have lost up to 70% of their natural ankle mobility without realizing it. A long-term study from Nagoya University followed 890 older adults over 3 years. Half performed ankle circles every night before bed. The other half did not. The differences were dramatic. 73% fewer falls, 23% faster walking speed, 41% reduction in knee pain. The reason is simple biomechanics. When ankles stop moving properly, the knees are forced to compensate through twisting and torque they were never designed to handle. Restore ankle motion and knee alignment improves naturally. Japanese elders then extend this concept to the hips. Lie on your back and gently pull one knee toward your chest. Begin making slow circles with the knee, moving the hip joint through all directions. 5 circles one way, 5 the other, then switch sides. Walking only moves the hip forward and backward. These circles introduce rotation and lateral movement, which are essential for maintaining healthy synovial fluid inside the joint. Think of it like properly stirring a mixture instead of moving the spoon in a straight line. According to data from the Japanese Orthopedic Association, seniors who practice nightly hip circles maintain 45% more hip rotation as they age. This translates directly into daily life. Easier car entry, less strain tying shoes, and smoother transitions from floor to standing. Performing these movements before bed keeps joints mobile throughout the night instead of stiffening during long periods of stillness. Deep sleep is when the body produces most of its joint lubricating fluid. These movements prepare the joints to receive it. Small sounds like clicking or popping are normal as long as there's no pain. They often signal adhesions breaking up after years of limited motion. Many Japanese elders pair these circles with calm music or quiet reflection, turning the practice into a relaxing nightly ritual rather than exercise. Now we arrive at the movement that stunned researchers more than any other. This is the movement that surprised researchers the most, because it looks almost like doing nothing at all. Lie on your back close to a wall and gently rest your legs upward against it. That's the entire position. Hold it for 3 to 5 minutes. Yet inside the body, a powerful chain of restorative processes begins. Scientists at the Tokyo Metropolitan Institute of Gerontology were studying joint inflammation in aging adults when they noticed an unexpected pattern. Seniors who regularly elevated their legs before sleep had over 40% more synovial fluid in their joints compared to those who didn't. Synovial fluid is your body's natural joint lubricant. It allows knees, hips, and spinal joints to glide smoothly. As we age, production drops sharply, by about half by age 60, which is why morning stiffness becomes so common. Elevating the legs above the heart reverses this process in 2 major ways. First, lymphatic drainage increases dramatically. The lymph system has no pump of its own. It relies on movement and gravity. Throughout the day, inflammatory fluid pools in the legs. This position allows that fluid to drain back toward the core, where it can be filtered and cleared. Second, this posture gently decompresses the spine. Gravity compresses spinal discs all day long. With legs elevated, the spine experiences a mild traction effect. Even a separation of just a couple of millimeters between vertebrae allows fluid to rush back into the discs, rehydrating them overnight. A 5-year study following 1,200 Japanese elders found that those who practiced this nightly reported 64% less morning joint pain, 31% improvement in flexibility, 52% better sleep quality, Draining excess fluid from the legs also reduce nighttime bathroom interruptions, helping participants remain in deeper sleep cycles longer. Proper setup matters. The hips should be about 6 inches away from the wall, not pressed directly against it. Legs can remain slightly bent if needed. Many elders place a folded blanket under the hips to enhance the drainage angle. Slow, deep breathing amplifies the effect. The diaphragm acts as a pump for the lymphatic system, further improving circulation. Some elders count 100 slow breaths while holding the position. Despite common fears, blood does not rush dangerously to the head. The body regulates blood pressure effectively in this posture. For most people, it is not only safe but deeply therapeutic. Those with serious cardiovascular conditions should consult a physician first. Start with 2 minutes if 5 feels too long, then build gradually over 2 weeks. Tingling sensations in the legs are normal, a sign that stagnant fluid is moving. When performed in this exact order, these 5 movements take just 12 to 15 minutes. Japanese elders don't consider them exercise. They see them as nightly maintenance, as essential as brushing their teeth. They've shown that aging doesn't have to mean stiffness, pain, or loss of mobility. Joints remain fluid when they're given what they need. Start tonight. In 3 months, your movement will feel different. In 6 months, your body will feel younger. In a year, you may be the one surprising others with how easily you move. Now tell us, which daily movement has become hardest for you over the years? Getting up from the floor, turning your head while driving, reaching behind your back? Share in the comments. We read every one.